Today I'm going to speak to you about divine adoption. Adoption is God's original idea. And the word of God says in Ephesians chapter 1, which is the start of everything. It says that we have been predestined to be adopted as sons. While adopted as his sons through Jesus Christ. This was the original thing. We have been predestined to be adopted as sons, as his sons through Jesus Christ. This was the God's original idea. So the adoption, I will tell what adoption is not. As per adoption, as today's culture, today's thing, we feel that if a person, a man and woman, if they are not getting a child, they may go to an orphanage and they can adopt a child out over there. Or in other cases also, I can say, a person might already have two childs, but they can go and adopt a third person, whomever they like or whomever they want to adopt. Maybe the person has somebody to take care of, or maybe the person has nobody to take care of or to take care of. But still, people can go and adopt the child and they can raise, and we call it as adoption in today's terms. But that is not how the divine adoption is all about. I'll tell you the best way how Paul used to describe this adoption. Because he was living in a Roman culture. So how his adoption was in the Roman culture, if you can go to see, like if there was a monarch or a king or a father of a person, certain person, and he had a right whether if he had to give all his property to his sons, or if he has to give less property or very little things to his sons. So he always had a choice out over there. But if he has adopted a son, or he has told that this is my adopted son, then he has to give him everything. He has to give him his full property. He has to give him his name also. Property, name, his standings, many things I can say. He has to make him come to his level. And there are a lot of things like he has to give him everything. So this is how a king of those days, or monarch, or father, or anything I can call it, how they used to deal in when it comes to adopted as sons. So let me make it more clearly to you. A monarch of those times will always think whom he has to make his the person who heed after him. So maybe he had many sons, but he have to have one to make one son as the heed. So he will always send his son to the governors to be trained, to be well instructed, well disciplined, and lot of things out over here. So he will be trained under governors, under wise men, and then he will be brought as a trained son, or as a mature son, I will say. And then the father or his monarch can give him his everything, his legal right, his entire his legal property. He can make him. Then he has access to all the inheritance of his king or of his father. And he has a legal right, and then he has become the heir. And this all the things, all the responsibilities, everything he will get. Not when the father dies, only even when the father is alive, he will get everything. This is what the divine adoption is. Now let me come to something very beautiful. Let me come to Jesus Christ. Adoption, how adoption was so much important. Adoption will represent the responsibility, the authority, the power of a father. This responsibility, authority, and power of a father will be reflected by a mature son, I will say. So how is this thing actually represented? So you know the word of God says when Jesus was baptized, there was no voice, but when he came out of the baptism, the water out over there was a voice which said very clearly, "This is my beloved son, whom I am well pleased. This was the Father's declaration of adoption over Jesus Christ over there. This was the same land when a Jewish people used to adopt a son, and their sons, even they had sons, they used to adopt their sons, that same son, and they used to say this line: "This is my beloved son, whom I am well pleased." So the moment when even this voice was said to Jesus, "This is my beloved son, whom I am well pleased," he started to take the responsibility of the Father, the authority, the power of the Father. He started to represent his Father in everywhere. Wherever he goes, wherever places he goes, now he was a legal representative, or as a representation of his Father out over there. So this is how divine adoption does for you. It makes you the representative of the Father to do work out. And this is how mature sons are there. This is how mature sons are called to be. So this is my emphasis. I want to end by saying that we have been called to be divinely adopted by God through Jesus Christ. Thank you.